Okay, Real, you can talk to the Facebook people who are there listening.
Good morning, everyone who's out there on Facebook. Just wanted to say a wonderful good morning and glad that you're with us in this space today. We look forward to really connecting with you and hoping that you have an amazing session with us as we co-create this opportunity to tap into your higher self. So welcome, welcome, welcome. As you join, feel free to say hello in the chat and let us know who you are. And once we get underway, we can have an amazing morning. And hello, hello to anyone who's out there. As you come in, just come in with any intentions that you have for today's session, anything that you want to tap into, clear, connect with, find out, understand, and just hopefully come in with open mind and heart so that you can be ready for what comes through. Good morning, good morning.
We have the Zoom participants in the space too, Rio.
Hello to everyone who's on Zoom. I see we have some people coming in. Welcome.
Peace and blessings.
Welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. As you come in, feel free to just say hello or drop a hello in the chat. We're really excited and looking to get started as soon as we kick off. Just come in, as I was mentioning to our friends on Facebook, with any intentions that you have for what you want to work through or connect with or achieve in this morning's session. And, hopefully we can hit some high points and we can all get some great energy and great information from our higher selves.
Peace and blessing, family. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. If you're just joining, please come in and, just feel free to connect. While we are getting started, I'm just going to off screen create a container for our session. So that way we keep all of the energy in, and that, for those of us who are highly sensitive or empathic, that we're not bleeding too much into each other's energy fields. But good morning, and I hope everyone is having a great day so far, and the day will continue to be great afterward. So just come on in, set your intentions, get comfortable. Good morning, everyone. For those who are just joining us, I see we have a few more people coming in.
Grand Rising.
Grand Rising. See a few familiar faces in here. So hello to those of you who we've met previously or have worked together. Very excited to see you all. To anyone who I haven't met yet, this is perfect time for us to connect. So really excited that you decided to join today. Please be careful driving, Miss Wendy.
Yes.
Good morning, everyone.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning, we're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Good morning, everyone who's joining us on both Facebook and Zoom. I just wanted to give you a hearty good morning and a proper good morning as we begin. I am Real Hamilton-Romeo. I am an intuitive and an empath, and this morning I wanted to share with you some of the tools that I've learned as I've navigated this spiritual journey that I've been on for quite some time, specifically as it relates to connecting with my higher self. This is something that I use in my everyday life and in my profession as a publicist, brand builder, and marketer. And so one of the things that I'm able to do is really draw on my inherent abilities to be able to help people with their lives and their businesses, and sometimes where the two intersect. So again, a good morning to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. What I want to really do is go through how we can tap into our own sources of power. So as we get started, I'd like to just have a conversation with everyone who's out here with us today and really ask how many of you have ever worked with a spiritual healer, a psychic, a shaman, or other type of spiritual leader, a life coach, or someone like that. Feel free to drop it in the chat, either here on Zoom or on Facebook. Or if you're feeling so inclined, feel free to unmute yourself and you can let us know who you've worked with as well as why you decided to work with that person. So anyone want to share, and then we can connect through those experiences. I know this isn't a shy group, so
I'll call on somebody, people's
okay.
brains are marinating, I'm sure, having to type out the responses. So Carmen just answered. So Carmen, if you're willing to come off mute just to share verbally who that was and the impact, stuff like that.
Sure. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi. I'm getting ready to go to the gym. So I've actually worked with just a few different people.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I did that was, one, because I grew up Catholic, and my mom used to have this fortune teller that she read the cup, like, you drink some coffee and then she does a reading, but nobody really talked about it. So it's like, we go to church, but we don't talk about that. But she trusted this lady. She's like, she really trusted what she told her. And, so from time to time, I go see her. And the reason that I do that is because I know that I spend a lot of time just in my intellectual brain and don't always listen to spirit. So sometimes when I'm like, just really feeling disconnected from spirits, as a reminder, like, wait a second, either you're on track or you're going to have to just readjust. And sometimes they come to me. So sometimes I don't even ask for it. And there's someone giving me a message that I was like, oh, thank you. I didn't even ask for it, but thanks.
Yes. I love when that happens.
Yeah, those are the best.
Awesome. Thank you, Carmen. Teresa has said yes, that she has. And Wendy, it says, coming from Trinidad, that was quite common. And so I too, I actually have a psychic who I talk to a couple times a year. And I have a spiritual life coach. And then, we have our friends and family who we may or may not tap into. So just to let you all know, I'm asking that because a lot of times, especially with myself, I found that we tend to seek that reassurance outside of ourselves. And each of us, whether we've awakened or not, has that inherent ability within us with our intuition, or what we call our gut feelings to be able to be on track and really tap into that energy. So one of the reasons why I wanted to share that is because sometimes, we can be boss at trusting our intuition, and at other times we really start to doubt ourselves, whether it's we aren't sure that something is happening or that we're interpreting it correctly, or we don't really know the direction that something is going in. But it's at those moments that it's really imperative to tap into your own source of power. I see Catherine says that she has to be affirmed by, I have to be affirmed by others. And I totally understand that. It was something that I also relied on very heavily, others' affirmation and acceptance. And, slowly but surely, it took some time for me to shed that. And sometimes when you're in that space, sometimes you are looking for someone else to validate what it is that you are feeling. So one of the things that I wanted to show this morning and share with you is a couple of different ways for you to really tap into your own sense of power and get that affirmation and validation from yourself. That's not to say that you shouldn't work with any of these people at all, because like I said, I still work with a number of different folks here in 3D or IRL, and also in the spirit realm. So one thing I wanted to share before we started is that I know that this group is highly intuitive and very tapped in. So is there anyone out there who's already connected with their higher self and worked with their higher self? If you could just come off mute and share what you did and how that works and why that was of interest to you. So I see, while we're waiting, I see someone, Jacqueline says that other than healers and life coaches, she's never worked with anyone other than a therapist. And that's amazing. You're like a first. I very rarely meet people who have not worked with any types of like spiritual leaders or healers. And I also have a therapist. So anyone out there has worked with their spiritual self before? And I see Catherine says that she has a mentor who she believes is a spiritual guide for her, and that's amazing. Sometimes we have those people who come into our lives and are really great at being in that space, and because they're in our spirit family for one reason or another, they can help us connect in that way. Okay, so excuse me, I don't see anything just yet. Do we have anyone on Facebook who has shared that they've already worked with their higher self?
All right, let me call on, and we can definitely get some shares from Facebook. I'm going to call on 2 people and then see where that takes us, just based on who I know in this space probably has an answer for you.
Okay.
So Amelia, I will ask if you can share, and let me see who else has been in the space. Jahari, if you're willing to share too. So either one would be great. And Teresa, I see your hand, so we'll come back through. So Amelia, unmuted.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. Yes, I have been working with my higher self for a while. I experienced, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying yes, affirming that.
Yeah, so through trauma, the loss of my dad, it actually sent me on a journey where I started personal development. I worked with Bob Proctor coaching program. Just even my own spiritual leader is a deep, deep intuitive person. So I've been just doing that work for a while. And through that process, I was introduced to meditation. And through the art of meditation, what I found over time, as you continue to meditate, you actually continue to take yourself into deeper levels of awareness and able to connect to that higher self within you. So whenever I'm having an issue or wrestling with a problem, I go to meditation, I sit, allow my mind to clear, and guidance in the form of inspiration, direction for where I should move comes to me. It may also come to me where I meditate, go out, go for a walk, and then I get a call from someone, or I interact with someone who gives me the next step on what I'm supposed to do or what direction I'm supposed to go in. So meditation itself is the path for me that allows me to connect to my higher self and bring that forward into my daily life here.
Absolutely. I love it, Amelia. And you are spot on. Thank you so much for that share. And Jahari?
Good morning,
Good
grand
morning.
rising, everyone. Yes, I've done meditation for many years. I've done Homa, which is the basis is Agnihotra, and I'm also a member of the Santo Daime Church, where we take an entheogen to help us to open up our third eye and connect with our ancestors and our guides. And so I have been on this spiritual journey for 40 years
That is amazing.
to connect with my higher self. Some people I know can do it without taking substances, but our medicine really helps me to get there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing, Jahari. Really appreciate it. And yes, someone asked what is the higher self? And Kinyofu is spot on. It is your God self. It's the highest, most purest form of yourself. I'm Buddhist, so we say in Buddhism, it's your Buddha nature. It's that inherent part of you who has limitless possibilities. If you've ever seen, and I hate to even bring in movies, but if you've ever seen that movie Limitless, or I think another one that's similar is Lucy, where in Limitless, he takes this pill, it's this clear pill, and he takes the pill and it opens up your brain. And he's able to do all of these things he wasn't able to do. It's kind of similar, that's how I liken it. It's kind of similar to that, working with your higher self. It's really tapping into those parts of your brain or intuition that we don't normally focus on or listen to throughout the day. They say we only use 10 to 20% of our brains. To me, working with my higher self is like expanding on that capability to work with myself and really expand my mind and deepen my interactions, not just with myself, but with other people on a daily basis. As some people have shared, there are a number of ways to work with your higher self. Some people do that through ayahuasca or cacao ceremonies or cannabis to be able to really get into that zone where they can really tap in, tune in, and connect with anything that's that they need to work through. For many of us, though, meditation is the way that we can get there, and there are different ways that we're going to tap into that today, and essentially really start to work through any issues that we have. So what I would like you to do is, if you have a second, if you don't already, get to a place that's comfortable. You can either be seated or you can lay down. I personally prefer laying down to meditate. It just allows me to completely zen out. Have some water or tea or water with lemon, whatever you use in the morning to just stay hydrated and keep you connected in the space. And then if you want, you can have pen or paper, so that way you can jot down anything that comes in while you are connecting with your higher self through meditation. So I'll give you like 10 seconds to do that. And while you're doing that, or a little bit longer, while you're doing that, I see, Wendy says that she's still learning how to trust that she's communicating with her higher self and to be more in tune during her dream state. Jacqueline says, I connected to my higher self at a very early age as a means of coping with childhood sexual abuse. I spoke with God directly and I had an out-of-body experience. She was taught not to trust people claiming to be spiritual because she saw these people could actually harm their clients. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people as well. And sometimes it is hard to know who to trust. But one of the ways that you can actually determine that also is through your higher self. I legit, since learning this technique, use it for just about anything. Job interview, meditate, talk to my higher self, ask to be given information, trying to understand different symbols that have come to me, or I forget who said it, but like Carmen, I believe, that people come to her. That has happened to me a lot. I'll be walking down the street and someone will randomly come to me, grab my arm and say, you know, I just wanted to share this message with you. And I'm like, no idea who this person is. And I'll take the information, say thank you. And then when I have a chance to connect with my higher self, it starts to unveil a lot more in terms of what that message was or what the catalyst for that message was. Okay, so if we are ready and in position, I just want to put the disclaimer out there that it's not a bad thing, but once you start to tap into your higher self, if you haven't already, you'll notice that you're able to manifest things at like warp speed and things will unfold a lot faster. It's okay. The important thing is that you trust yourself. And I know trusting yourself can be a bit difficult. Sometimes it's really about asking for actual proof or asking for a sign in the 3D world. So that way you know what it is that you're seeing and can really trust and connect with. But that you really trust and release control. I'm a control freak. So for me, the reminder is always release control to my higher self. Let her really deal with things that I feel like are disjointed or unconnected for me. Okay, so now that you have gotten what you need, please either sit or lay down and be in a space that's comfortable. If you've ever been hypnotized, I'm gonna say similar to being under hypnosis, if there are background noises, don't let those noises take you out of your state of meditation. Just use that to bring in kind of like white noise and take you further into the aspect of meditation that we are going to go into. A lot of times to start the meditation, you can do a visualization exercise. I know that we all have different safe spaces or sacred spaces. So mine is water, not everyone else's is water. Yours might be like climbing a mountain or walking in a meadow or something like that. So whatever your safe space is, just think of that place and start to situate yourself there. And if everyone can please close their eyes, if you can safely, Wendy, keep your eyes on the road. And just take a deep breath in through your nose for a count of 4. I want you to hold that breath for 4 counts and then release through your mouth for 4 counts. And we're going to do that 4 times. We always start with grounding with breath work because it grounds us. I usually do things in 4s. I know people do in 3s. However many deep breaths it takes for you to feel as grounded as possible, please do that. And then I want you to really come in and set that intention that you want to connect with your higher self for whatever reason you want to connect. Whether you're laying down or you are seated, have your palms facing upward, because that is in receiving mode and we want to receive from our higher self. And then another deep breath in and release. And now with your eyes closed, as I mentioned, I want you to set the intention to connect with your higher self by internally saying, bounce it upstairs. One of the things that I learned to do is roll your eyes up while they're closed as high as possible, usually like into your eyebrows, or if you can roll them up to the ceiling and then just back down to normal position. And just continue to set that intention to fully connect with your higher self. I'm going to walk you through a process today as your guide, but by all means, when you're doing this on your own, you will be guiding yourself to this process. So I'm going to use some very basic language to internally set the intention with our higher self based on whatever it is that you want to heal or manifest or experience or resolve within your life. As I was mentioning, our higher selves are there to really work with us and to connect with us, to be able to help us, similar to our spirit guides, but we should start with ourselves first and then work outward to that spirit team. Okay, so for the purpose of today, we're going to ask our higher self to download any energetic information or tools or the understandings that we may need to resolve any karma, outdated or expired soul contracts, or any other contracts that are standing in the way of your goals and higher evolution. So just think about those things, whatever it is that you want to get. What are you working through? What is there in the spiritual realm that you haven't received yet? If you are thinking of a particular situation that you want to resolve or work through, what does that entail? Who is that other person? And ask your higher self to connect with that person's higher self and work things out in 5D. So that way in 3D, you can have a more harmonious reconciliation. And we want to make sure that whatever it is that we're getting, whatever it is that our higher selves are working through, we ask our higher self to guide us and to help resolve these connections with grace and ease in the most positive way possible. So continue, just tap into your higher self and ask her or him or they to help you download any insights or spiritual knowledge or wisdom that you may need in order to be fully integrated with yourself, higher self, and your 3D self in this reality. Ask your higher self to give you any type of knowledge or aspects of confidence that will allow you to trust yourself more deeply and your intuition at this time. Ask your higher self to really walk with you and guide you, similar to our spirit guides, who we have to ask for the help. Ask your higher self to give you those nudges of intuition when you are veering off course or making a decision when you're not in a meditative state. And continue your breathing. Any downloads that you may be getting, work through those. And just continue to inhale, exhale, normal breathing. Let your higher self take you through whatever paces you need to go through and get the information that you need to get. Remember, this is just you in an accelerated form, providing you with that energy and information that you will need. Your higher self already knows what you want, already knows how you need it and how to bring it to you. We're going to ask your higher self to download any personality grids or identity grids. Some of you may know about being present in multiple timelines. We're going to ask that we merge and collapse any timelines that can be collapsed and merged at this time with the highest amount of grace and ease and gentleness so that you can experience what's in your highest good in this 3D reality. You can also ask your higher self to give you any energetic information or healing codes, any activations on mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, or the DNA level at this time to help you embody the energy of what it is that you're seeking to embody, locate, find. If there are any neural pathways that are firing improperly at this time, ask your higher self to heal those, reverse them. I know some of us are working from a space of trauma and still working through that. Your higher self can help you resolve any of those traumatic issues as well. It may take repeat connections, but we can start to do that work now. Anything that's responsible for our fight flight responses, ask our higher selves to really connect with those and smooth out those edges and really heal those and restore them back to whatever the sacred geometry is, or whatever it is that we need to connect with, to our highest, purest form of ourselves. Yes, if you are able to be in meditation, absolutely. If not, just listen and then you can connect. If this doesn't connect with you, it's okay. Take what works and whatever resonates, and then whatever doesn't, you can leave that. So we're going to stay in this space and energy for a few more minutes, or a few more seconds, sorry, and continue to receive the information that we need to receive. And you can start to incorporate what you're getting. A few more seconds. And then we're going to start to, as we start to disconnect, just see if there's anything else, any codes or blueprints that you need from your higher self. Make sure that you're getting everything that you need at this time. Sometimes you may feel like your eyes are moving, like you're reading very quickly. That's what I felt when I was getting my downloads, and that's totally normal. Your breathing may change slightly, slow down a bit, increase a bit. That is normal as well. Just feel whatever it is that you feel coming into, as you're in that receptive mode, through the palms of your hands or from your crown chakra. Some of you may feel it coming up from your feet, and then it'll start from the bottom and work its way up, or from top and work its way down. As we start to close out this process, I want you to take one last deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth. And I want you to close out this piece with setting the intention to fully integrate all of the energetic information, all of the codes, grids, blueprints, every type of activation that you received or message from your higher self that you need at this time, with the highest amount of grace and ease, to whatever extent you choose on a soul level. And I want you to thank your higher self as you start to come back. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes. And I want you to come back to this space. If you need to, take a sip of water, or whatever your drink is, tea, coffee. All right. Welcome back, everyone. For those of you who were able to get into that meditative state, I know for some of us it can be a bit difficult, and I know it's morning and a lot of us are rushing off to work or whatever our commitments are in the morning. So I want to see with everyone what that experience was like for you. What did you see? You don't have to share what you heard, but if anything came up, what was that like? And really, how did it feel to be able to connect in that way? While we're waiting, and I definitely want to hear from our friends on Facebook, as well as those of you who are on Zoom. What I'll say is, because I'm leading this or guiding you through this right now, I did not go into the meditative state with you. But when I did this my very first time, I got a lot of images of, I'll say animals, for lack of a better word, that don't really exist in our 3D reality. It was like hybrids of animals from ancient times, or I think one of them that I looked up is what I thought was a mythical creature. And even in looking up these animals, sometimes they were in other timelines or other realities. But most of all, the message that I got, and then I saw like a feather, what I thought was an ostrich feather, and there was a message in that. So a lot of times when I meditate, especially even if I don't connect to my higher self, just doing any type of meditation, I would often see images or symbols. Sometimes I hear things. Once I saw a womb with a baby in it, and I was like, okay, I'm not pregnant. And then I found out a week later my goddaughter was pregnant. So just in terms of those types of things. So we see, so Jennifer said that she feels connected to her purpose. That is awesome. Teresa said that she feels peace and calm, and that's great because we want our higher self to give us that assurance and ability to just like release whatever it is that's weighing on us. And then what I also wanted to share with you all is, as you're going through that process of connecting with yourself, you know, the first time for me, it was very weird, and that's my word. And it just felt weird, but it felt familiar. And even what I thought my higher self would look like, I was like, oh, she's gonna look like me, just like bossed up. It wasn't even like that. I think the first time it looked just like energy, like light with eyes. And then the next time it was my spirit animal, which is a bird, and I'm absolutely terrified of birds. So whatever comes up for you, just as people, we tend to place our expectations. Think of this as just a time to shut out all of that external noise and other stimuli and really rely on ourselves. So we see someone says, I was not able to connect with my higher self. It appeared that my lower self was very present. I was ready to go fight somebody. That happens sometimes. Sometimes that energy comes up, and that's okay as long as we recognize that. And there's a way, the next thing that we go into kind of touches on that a little bit. Jahari said she saw a flower like a lotus flower. That is dope. I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, La Katuka K. In between the kid noise in my house, I saw a council of me's, like a board of directors. It was funny. That is so cool. Jem McBean L said, I felt peaceful, supported, and loved, warmly embraced. That is awesome. So images of family members that I was seeking spiritual healing for, that is great. They are definitely a part of your light team, I would say. I asked for the downloads to help me integrate and resolve issues within the souls that I saw in my meditation. Paul said, or Purple, I'm sorry, I saw who to speak with to assist with a harmonious experience with a person I've operated with in low vibration. I saw the word cleanse. I taste the response to some coworkers, and it was toxic. I saw a disc-like object balancing and floating. I heard I am that I am. That is awesome. And yes, that is another way that you can ensure as well, as we look into the next tool for connecting to our higher self that we're going to work with. You're going to see, you're going to want to really embody your sovereignty as much as possible and really ensure that you are who you are. Lots of things can come up. I've had other messages, words similarly. Like I said, I tend to get a lot of symbols. My higher self likes to give me puzzles to solve. I think that's just my own minor neuroses, but that is awesome for all of you. We see from Adam, he says, I feel vulnerable and I want to reconnect my trust in women in terms of being in a relationship with women. I've been bullied by a couple of females in the 6th grade and middle school, and I never looked at females the same ever since that time. I'm sorry to hear that, Adam. I feel like middle school, I don't know what it is about that stage of development, but it is interesting. So someone has a hand raised. Feel free to come off mute and you can share with us.
That was amazing. I love meditating in community because I feel like it just gives a more powerful energy for what can come through. And what was coming through for me was a lot of the things and people
Mhm.
and that I needed to forgive or seek forgiveness from, actually,
Okay.
including myself. And the whole Oponopono prayer was really present for me. I'm
Mm,
sorry. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So that really, really was strongly coming through for me.
that is great. Your voice sounds familiar. What's your name?
It's Amelia.
Oh, Amelia. Hi. It's funny that you, well, not funny. In Buddhism, we say it's myoho. Like we're gonna talk about the Ho'oponopono next, because that's a part of the next thing that we're gonna go into, and how we can use Ho'oponopono. And there is a Ho'oponopono prayer that I have a link to that I can share with everyone. And I love using Ho'oponopono, especially for myself, whenever I'm doing it to forgive myself or really just take it easy and give myself just a little bit of grace. Sometimes I cry, which is awesome because tears are definitely healing. Any of you who have met Shawnee, worked with Shawnee, you know, Shawnee always says tears are libation, and they really, really are. Surrender to trust. And Wendy said, I couldn't meditate today. I'm at work, but I did a guided meditation with one of our WUE presenters, and I saw a mythical creature, upper body human, form with an angel wings and mermaid lower half recently. And I've been seeing angel numbers 111, 333 when I look at my phone. Yes, synchronicity is definitely a way that our higher selves are telling us that we are on the right path, or to continue, or they see us, or they understand. So if you're seeing those numbers, and if you are thinking about something, you hear a song on the radio, and I think someone mentioned earlier in this space, like they'll meditate or they'll connect with someone, and then they'll see someone who shares something with them or something like that, or someone will call. That is definitely your higher self helping you to connect with those things or work through things. Sometimes our spirit guides as well, but it's really a way for us to really connect with ourselves, trust ourselves, and deepen that relationship that we are creating through this spiritual journey that we're on. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is another meditation, and this will allow us to call back our power. I know sometimes a lot of us feel powerless, or someone mentioned that they weren't able to connect with their higher self because they were dealing with their lower self and they wanted to fight somebody. That's a very real thing. For a lot of times when we are working in these spaces, excuse me, you'll know when you don't have your power fully with yourself, because you'll feel some of those low vibrational feelings of being anxious, or feeling like you are in conflict, or like you do want to fight someone. For me, one of those people is my dad's wife. My father recently passed, and I very much often am like, please let my interactions with this person go well. And sometimes it just feels hard. You feel like whenever you're acting out of character, that's when you know you've given away your power, and not necessarily given it away, but you're not fully resting in your power, and you're taking on the energy of someone else. And whenever you are in that mode where you feel out of character, one of the things that helps me pop back into myself very quickly is having the understanding that when you're saying things like, you know, my spiritual life coach, she is very real. And she's like, I wish a MFer would. She's like, you know, sometimes I'm like, I don't feel like being that person. And, you know, sometimes it's hard. You can't always, even though we aspire to be in that space of being, you know, fully awakened and highly inclined all of the time. Sometimes people try to drag you back down. And that's a way that we can test our resolve and not fully give into those feelings. Or if we do, bring ourselves back. Calling back our power allows us to do that. So that way we are not taking on those energies of other people who we are in conflict with, because once you take on the energy, you also kind of take on that karma a little bit. And then you are not only working through your own stuff, but then you're working through their stuff. And why carry somebody else's baggage when our own is heavy enough? From Facebook, we see, yes, I often see 111, 11, 444. Yeah, that's a lot of different forms of synchronicity. Catherine says, it's my experience. It is my experience. My expectations of others cause the conflicts and lack of love, because love creates and comforts and heals. Yes. I think as humans, I remember in 8th grade, my history teacher used to use this term ethnocentric. And then as I got older, I evolved in that. Ethnocentric just means like we think others should act the way we do in our society. I think as people, especially when you're one of those people who's very giving, very open, and you, because we were taught as kids, you know, treat people the way you expect to be treated, we start to think other people should act and behave the way in which we do, but they don't have the same experiences and they're not walking the exact same path. So it happens to me all the time. And I'm like, well, I just don't understand. Like, if I'm being so open and honest, why can't this person, you know, be the same way? And to your point, Adam, you know, why is it that people have to act this way? And then you start to build that wall, and, you know, that trust starts to erode. This is a way that we can kind of come out of that like flow of self-talk and really start to embody a higher method of thinking and feeling. So we're going to go back into meditation, similar to what we were doing before. We're going to tap into our higher self and take that higher self work just a bit further. So what I showed you in that first meditation was just the foundation of connecting to and asking for that information and seeing what your higher self had to show. Now, if everyone can once again just close your eyes for me, and I want you to take a deep belly breath in through your nose. Same thing, we're going to start with breath work to really ground us, and you can do as many of those breaths as it will take for you to feel grounded. Like I said, a lot of people usually do 3. I tend to do 4. So just keep doing those deep breaths in through the nose. Hold for 4 and exhale. And now what I want you to do is, as you're doing that with your eyes closed, I want you to scan your body. I want you to start at the top of your head and work your way down. Take your time doing this. And I want you to scan for any places in your body that feel hollow or empty, or anything that feels dense or tight. And if you're not able to fully see what those places on your body are, ask your higher self to locate where those places are. Like me right now, I'm feeling a bit of tension in my lower back, which is good because it started out in my shoulders. So it seems to be moving. Hopefully I can completely expel it. And I want you to also, if you're feeling any emptiness or tension, think about where in your body or what chakra that these feelings may be connected to or associated with. For example, if you're feeling tension or emptiness in your chest, that could be associated with your heart chakra. And whatever it is that you're feeling, and even if you can't identify what it is, I want you to ask your higher self to find whatever is in each of those spaces and release whatever needs to be released. If it's empty, ask your higher self to fill it in with source, light energy, higher level energies that need to be filled for your highest evolution and growth. If it's something that feels dense or tight, ask your higher self to start to unwind and release it. And really smooth out whatever that tension is. I want you to almost think of it like little fingers kind of like kneading through that tension. And if it's empty, just imagine source energy and light filling in all of those spaces. Really feel all of that high vibrational energy coming in to dissipate any tension and fill in any emptiness. The next thing I want you to do is ask your higher self to connect to you, to the higher self of anyone that you may feel like you are in conflict with, victimized by, hurt by, anyone who has caused you to mistrust people, doubt yourself, anyone who you feel may not have the best intentions for you. Just ask your higher self to connect to you with the higher self of that person or those people. Imagine that person in your mind's eye. And internally, I want you to repeat to yourself, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. We're going to do this 7 times. So I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. If you had any anger or resentment come up while you were doing this, I want you to ask your higher self to take that low vibrational energy on and resolve it in the higher realms. Take it out of your 3D reality so that you are no longer carrying that baggage or that tension or those energies, because it's not helping you to evolve in this reality that we're in. And then whatever energetic information or codes or other tools or information or resources that you may need at this time that will allow you to resist the temptation to take on other people's energy or traits, ask your higher self to give that information to you at this time. Ask your higher self to provide you with whatever those tools and resources are so that you can release it. Because the longer you hold on to that anger and resentment, that fear, it's going to stay in the body and create pain. And then, it's like drinking poison or you develop dis-ease within the body. We don't want to take on anyone else's stuff because that's not the path that we need to walk or the energies that we need to be connected to. So again, just really start to ask your higher self to take those pieces away. Take it away, take it away, take it away, so that we can be in this current 3D reality with grace and ease for our highest good. And I want you to take one last deep breath in for 4 counts. Hold it for 4 counts. And then exhale for 4. Thank your higher self for whatever information or resources that he or she or they were able to give you at this time. And then I want you to start to come back into this space. Open your eyes when you are ready. All right, welcome back, everyone. So Jacqueline, yes, she says, I am aware when I'm out of character and taking on that spirit from others. The fact that I could be taking on some of that karma is deep. No wonder I cannot understand why certain things were happening. Yeah, it's interesting because I was in a leadership seminar, and one of the things they said to us as leaders is whatever position you take or energy you put out, that's what is going to be mirrored back to you. And I started to think of it in terms of like my mom. Like I love my mom, but sometimes we're like oil and water. And I was just like, why is it that I could be in a great mood and then I talk to her and then I'm like feeling less great? We're just taking that on. So the more that we can like bounce that off and not take that on, it'll really help us to stand firm. Another thing that we can do is set boundaries, not barriers, but set boundaries. You know, like if you don't like certain interactions or if you don't like people to deal with you or talk to you a certain way, you can let people know, you know, like, I don't appreciate being spoken to that way. If you continue to speak to me that way, I'm going to have to end this conversation. It's perfectly fine, especially as empathic people and highly intuitive people and highly sensitive people. We often want to be very understanding and very accepting. And yes, there's a time and place for that, and we can be, but I've always gotten the guidance that you set the boundary first, and then you deal with that understanding and empathic connection with people. So what we just did, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. And I believe it was Sahari who may have mentioned that she does that as well. That is Ho'oponopono. I will share a link with you to the Ho'oponopono chant. Sometimes when I just really want forgiveness for myself or someone else, I'll put that on. It's a link on YouTube, and it's like 108 times going through it and just sit there and listen to it. And like I said, sometimes I'm crying and sometimes I just feel on top of the world. And it really helps you to tap into that space where you're not holding on to those negative energies or feelings. The prayer helped me with feeling loved and still open. I don't want to fight anymore. Thanks for that space. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that, Catherine. That's awesome. Yes, Noelle. Hey, Noelle. Barriers versus boundaries. Yeah, big difference. Boundaries are great. Barriers are not. Barriers mean that we're not letting anything out and nothing else can come in. But having boundaries, we can, you know, bounce over that line as many times as we need to. I felt panic at a certain point. Oh no, Jacqueline, do you mind coming off mute and saying why you felt panic?
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. I don't know. During the I can't pronounce it.
Ho'oponopono?
Yes, when you were saying that, before that, when I scanned my body, I was feeling emptiness in my throat area. And I know that it's because I'm not speaking my truth sometimes, and my voice is stifled, and I'm stifling my voice. Nobody else is doing it. And then tight in the chest, but very dense in my root chakra. But then when you started doing the
Ho'oponopono.
Yes, I felt like crying. I still do. And I don't know, I just felt a tightness in my chest at that point. And it's like, I don't know, you know, what that is, but I need to explore that a little bit more.
Yes, do a bit more breath work. And one of the things that helps me when I'm doing the Ho'oponopono, and I would say for you, Jacqueline, do the Ho'oponopono. Put your hand on your heart space and just say, I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. Thank you. As many times as you need to. And let the tears fall. I used to be a person, I'd be like, I hate crying. I'm never going to cry. I don't want people to see me cry. And the more I did that, oh my gosh, it was like everything was just like so like tight and closed off. Just release, you know, let it flow. Whatever that is that needs to work its way through. This is the way that your body, your spirit, your mind is choosing to cleanse that information. Let it cleanse, let it come out. And I too tend to have issues with throat chakra. I have thyroid condition, and a lot I would hold in and not say. And I notice whenever I'm holding my tongue, that's when I feel like that frog in my throat, and I'm like clearing my throat constantly. Say as much as you need to. And if you can't say it out loud, write it down. And once you write it down, then read it. And that may also make you cry, because I would write stuff down that I was like, oh, I'm good, I'm resolved, this is not an issue. And then I start reading it out loud, and there's something about hearing it, not just seeing it and reading it silently. There's something about hearing it that makes it real, that you can start to work through a lot of whatever it is. And for me, it was like a lot of trauma that I had just buried, that I thought that I dealt with, that I definitely did not deal with. And you'll start to see that it comes out. Just let it out. And you'll start to see that weirdness in your throat, whether it's the emptiness or the frogginess, the need to clear, it will start to happen less and less, and you'll feel a bit better and stronger. But yeah, definitely try this calling back your power a couple more times to really relieve that tension. Do the Ho'oponopono. You can do it with the calling back your power or separately, and just really try to connect with whatever is feeling off for you there.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Adam said, I just want to be free. Is that too much to ask for? No, it is never too much to ask for, Adam. And it's funny because people used to say to me, well, that's a choice. And I'm like, no, it's not a choice. You don't understand. But it is. Once you set the intention that that's what you want, you can definitely use these tools of working with your higher power to start to work through whatever you feel is keeping you restrained or constrained, and then that freedom will definitely emerge. Is it okay to say I apologize instead of saying I'm sorry? Zakia, I think you can. I just know from it's like an ancient Hawaiian prayer, and the way that it was taught to me and the person who taught that person, it was just set up with the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. But I'm sorry and I apologize are somewhat synonymous. So whatever resonates with you, I want you to definitely do that. It's more important that you get the intent of it than to get hung up on specific words or terms. I love you, I apologize, forgive me, thank you. Help me release so much tension, definitely about emptiness in my throat chakra. I would love that link, okay? Definitely glad to Noel. Someone said, I felt more love and forgiveness person. That is excellent. I thought of my grandson when I recited the Ono. Oh, thank you, Noel. When you're saying boundaries, I realize the issues that I've gotten into is because I never explained my boundaries. I just went into automatic reaction. Ariane, listen. I do the same thing. We have these boundaries in our head and we think people can read our minds. And I say this like fully, Real feels like people can read her mind. No, they can't. If we don't tell people what our boundaries are or what our intentions are, you know, I know for me, for the longest time, I've heard people say, you teach people how to treat you. And I'm like, yeah, you do. But I'm like, how do they know if you don't share with them what it is that you expect? What are your expectations? When you start a job, they tell you what the expectations of the job are. Whenever you go into any arena or space, they tell you what their rules of the house are. You know, the rules of the road and those types of things. what are the rules of Real? What are the rules of Ariane? You know, those are your boundaries. And sometimes you're going to see that people may start to disappear from your life. And I don't mean like they're going to be like, not like that at all, just like they will leave your life. If that's not what is for you and your highest good, the highest amount of elevation for you, you'll start to see that those people will slowly make their way out of your life. And it may feel weird at first and it may hurt. And even asking for information from our higher self, it's not going to look however we think it should look. A lot of times I'm definitely still working through that. I have these expectations of it will look this way, it will feel this way. Just know that whatever comes up is definitely what you need at that time for that reason, and you can start to work through. So I see that someone has a hand raised. Please unmute and let us know.
Well, before we go there,
Oh, sure.
Sweetness, 1 sec. It's past the 8 o'clock hour, and I think we missed this when we were doing the preparation, so we apologize for this, Rael. It was mentioned in our thread in WhatsApp, but you know, may have missed it. But when we approach 8 or get to 8, we acknowledge those who might have to leave because of work
Oh, okay.
responsibilities. So you can say that. You can, you know, share with folks how to get in contact with you. It is already posted in Facebook, and it's also posted in the Zoom space. But you can say what needs to be said for those who may have to jump off, because I see that we lost maybe 3
Yes.
or
Oh,
4 already.
sorry about that. But yes, everyone, my contact information is definitely in the chat. I am on Twitter and I am on Instagram. I respond very quickly to people who DM me on Instagram. Feel free to follow me. You can email me, text me. If you have WhatsApp, I respond better on WhatsApp than I do on text. For some reason, I tend to not get notifications for text messages. But if you want to reach out to me, if you want to talk through some of these spiritual tools, I'm happy to do that. Or if you want to talk about building up your business, I'm happy to do that as well. So I know those of you have to jump, feel free to do so, but the information will be shared out and I am available and happy to talk through anything that you need. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I wanted to offer something. I've heard Adam, and Adam, there's no pressure, but wanted to offer this because I'm hearing in the space that there's a challenge around, you said, we use the word females, and I was like, let me come for you on that one. Women, and then also wanting to be freed up. So Rael, I don't know if what your intention was around these types of shares and what's there, but you know, I'm picking up that there's something there to work on. And it was also mentioned, you know, we have our back channel on the outside, like where we communicate, and it was mentioned in that communication that you know, that's the first time we've heard you share on that level. So Rael, before we go to Catherine, if it's cool with you to go a little bit deeper with what Adam shared. He's a member of this community, and it's the first time today that we're hearing a share on that level. So you have opened up something, and I think that's great. But Adam, it's up to you whether you want to accept the invitation to say more about what you're holding on to.
Absolutely. Thank you, Shawnee. Adam?
Let me see. He's
I
unmuted.
think you're on mute.
He's unmuted.
Oh.
We can't. Oh, wait a minute. We can't hear you, brother. So I'm not sure if it's. Take off the headset. Maybe it'll help.
Good morning, everybody.
Yes. Hi. Good morning.
Yeah, I accept the invitation.
So do you want to share a bit more about what you were talking about wanting to be free?
I mean, when I said wanted to be free, what I meant wanted to, you know, express my vulnerability without, you know, being chastised, without being shamed, without, you know, the name calling that I've, you know, encountered in my younger days. And also I wanted to, you know, be vulnerable in a sense where my own community can understand where I'm coming from, but I felt like I never got that kind of, you know, support, even from my own, you know, my own mother and my father. And I shared in the chat that I was bullied in the 6th grade, like 5 or 6 years after my parents had divorced. And it really, you know, took a huge toll on me. And when I went through that bullying process, I mean, it's like, what can what can I do to, fight back? Because if I fought back against these females, then I would have been wrong. People would take sides with a female and say, oh, he should have never hit the woman. But the truth is, you have a lot of females who got very comfortable with, attacking males because of what society had project on males. It's like society has imprisoned males to the point where we can't even fight back against our own females or fight back, period. And I'm saying this because we sit here and complain about racism and complain about what white folks have been doing to us, but we continue to do these things to ourselves, like on a daily basis. It's like,
Can I ask a question really quickly? So you mentioned again now about the bullying that you experienced in the 6th grade. How is that showing up for you in your life today? Because it's something that I'm not sure how old you are, but it's something that you seem to carry or continue to carry. So how is that, what you experienced then, showing up for you now?
I'm 35 years old, and how I'm showing up is I'm very cautious of any woman that I encounter, because it really changed my perspective of women in terms of their competence. Because when you it's like every time, it's like nowadays when somebody like me express their vulnerabilities or express their concern, or now all of a sudden, oh, he's gay, or he must be something that's not flattering. Or you can tell a female that you never even been in a relationship, and some of these females will take that as an insult or to your manhood.
So I would like to invite you to start to maybe shift your thinking just a little bit, because one of the things that I've realized on this journey is whatever energy it is that we're carrying, that's what we most often will encounter and will start to be mirrored back. So I'm not saying not to be discerning. So continue to be discerning about who you interact with, how you show up with that person or those people, and try to use this tool to really see what is at the heart of that and how you can start to show up slightly differently in terms of creating those boundaries with those individuals. And one of the things that it's very hard for me, one of the things that I started to do is say, it doesn't matter what someone else thinks of me, because I know what I think of me, and that is not going to change who I am or how I show up. It's not easy to do at first, because we do feel like when people say things or have those personal attacks, that it's a widely held belief. And even if it is, if that's not how you see yourself, and if it's not a person who is in a position, even if it is, who's in a position to be impactful on your life or anything like that, then why carry that? So I would invite you to try to do the calling back your power a few more times and really start to work in that energy, and even try the Ho'oponopono for the people who have bullied you or for people you encounter. I was just having a conversation on Monday with a young man about vulnerability. And I recognize for a lot of men that I've encountered in my life, being vulnerable is difficult. Some women too. Vulnerability is like one of those feelings that's really about love and trust, and sitting in that place of fully trusting yourself and the person that you're being vulnerable with. And even with my own family, to your point, there are things that I have in my life and I share with them, and they're like, oh, please, like, that's like crazy. That's some white mess. Like, oh, your mother sent you to that school. Oh, you're in this hippy dippy lifestyle. And okay, sorry you feel that way. And then I just know, boundary. That's not someone that I can share X, Y, and Z with. And for my own peace of mind and my own sanity and my own high vibration, there's ways that I choose to either interact with those people or not. One of those people is a sister of mine. love her dearly, but I know that there's ways that I can't interact with her because we, for whatever reason, we're not meshing like that. So my boundary with her is around certain other things, like, and you can have different boundaries for different people. My spiritual life coach, she calls them containers. Have different containers for different people in your life. We say a lot of times that we code switch at work. We're one way at school, we're another way at home, we're another way. I look at that less as for code switching and more so in the vein of having those boundaries for different groups of people. And I would invite you to try that and see how it works. And I'm happy to chat with you more offline to see what other things you can try to tap into and work with to help you work through that. And I think starting small on that scale, you may start to see some things just really start to unwind a bit. And see how, once you start to do those things, how people start to show up differently, or how you start to show up differently and interact in spaces with different people, and especially women, since that's what I'm picking up on seems to be the crux of where you want to make better connections.
Yeah, because I mean, for me, I'm 35 years old, and it's very, very easy for me to, isolate myself from everybody, especially women. So what I do as a coping mechanism is cooking. And another thing that I also do is whenever I'm in the woods and I see like branches that are on the ground, I usually pick them up and try to, clean up my backyard, for example. As you can see.
Yeah, no, definitely. Whatever it is that allows you to feel more connected, and the more time you spend in nature, it actually helps you to connect with yourself more. One thing that you can also try is, especially in the warmer months, go outside barefoot.
Sure.
Or put your bare hands on the ground and just soak in that energy of the earth and let that flow through you, and then start to use that to work through whatever it is that you're feeling. Like, I like to meditate outside. I don't know if you've ever seen those statues of Buddha, and you'll see that the hand, I'm gonna stand up and show, that the hand is kind of like pointed like this downward, or sometimes touching the ground. That's to help with further grounding and keeping you connected. If we have time, I think the next thing that we do could also help you is called cord removal, to start to break those connections with people who create those negative energies that you are feeling, or the low vibrational energy, or sometimes just in terms of, you're talking about freedom, this is one way that you can do that. So calling back your power, and then really starting to cut those cords with people who we have those ties with for whatever reason.
Sure. Because for me, I'm the kind of person, going through what I went through, it made me have low tolerance for a lot of people. I'm that kind of person, like, it's like once you mess me over or fuck me over, then it's a wrap. I can't deal with you anymore. And
I used to
another
be
thing,
that girl.
that's another thing that I do is I believe that you got to be a little bit selfish, because that's another way of creating boundaries for yourself, and not not letting one take advantage of you.
Yes, I would say definitely being selfish helps, but with care. So you want to be selfish with care.
With boundaries.
Yeah, create those boundaries. Like I said, boundaries, not barriers. And I repeat that to myself, because I was the girl who'd be like, well, F you that, but I'm putting up my, and I'd be like, this is my boundary. It wasn't a boundary. I didn't even have walls. I had fortified steel, I don't know what, just like different all over the place. And I was encased, and I wasn't feeling, because I couldn't draw anything in from anyone or let anything out of it.
Yeah. So I don't want any woman that are on this call to say that, oh, I despise women or I hate women. No, that's not the case right here. I just want to, share with the community that I never had a community where I could share my vulnerability or anything like that.
Well, I'm glad
and I was just want to say that I love all of the beautiful women that are on here, and I really appreciate women that value men like myself, and everyone that's willing to grow and develop.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, Adam. And thank you for, I'm getting emotional. Thank you so much for trusting us with your vulnerability, because I know that that's not easy. And especially if you felt like marginalized by a group of people and to come into this space with a lot of women. I know it can't be easy. So we, on behalf of everyone, I appreciate it. And I really thank you for trusting us with those feelings.
And thank you, because I could be in a worse situation right now if I didn't have the level. And one of the things that one of my counselors used to tell me is that I'm very level-headed and I'm a quick thinker, meaning that I'm not going to, react to every problem. And I think that's helped me, navigate around this society that's already sick. Because if I didn't have that kind of, thinking process, I'll either be dead or somewhere in jail doing time in prison right now.
It's like it's responding versus reacting. We want to respond, and we want to respond from a place of compassion. But reacting, and I used to be a reactor. Reacting, whew. So I'm glad that you have those people in your life who are outlets, and I'm glad that you have this community. And now I'm a member of your extended community. So like I said, if you decide to take up on the offer to connect with me afterward and work with me, I'm happy to work through some additional types of tools with you to see if we can get you to feel over this hump a little bit more.
Sure, because you're never too good to learn anything.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much again.
Thank you.
We have just 10 minutes. I'm going to do an abridged version of the next thing, but the cord removal is another modality that's like really, really dope. And so I just want to offer this to the community, and it could definitely help. Or not. If you feel inclined to participate, if you feel connected, like I said, take what works and leave what doesn't. So I want you all to just take a deep breath in and release. And I want you to just start to think of a moment in the past month where you really felt like you were acting out of character. If someone else was involved, then I want you to think of that person. As I mentioned, for me, that person is my late father's wife. And for whatever reason, if you have someone who's been popping into your head lately and you don't necessarily know why, could be an ex. I have a lot of those, not a lot, I have a couple of those exes who tend to just pop into my head from time to time. And I want you to think of that person or those people, whatever it is, whomever it is that has you really just has you feeling like you're acting out of character. And think about where that is affecting you, where in your body. I know some people earlier on mentioned, in the throat space that they felt some stuff, in the heart space, as I mentioned, my lower back. And even if it's more than one place, I want you to imagine where that place is on your body. And think about, there's a cord there. And that cord could be extending from wherever that space is to another person. It could be in your root chakra, your solar plexus, in your throat chakra, wherever it is that you're feeling that. Just imagine that cord between you and the other person. And these could be thin cords, thick cords, cords of all sizes and shapes. And I want you to just imagine that Archangel Michael is coming in with his sword of light and truth. And he is completely severing that cord between you and the other person. And anyone who's ever cut anything, that often we have like little pieces that are left behind. Now, whatever that is, I want you to imagine that remaining piece of cord is being pulled back into you, and that the cord that has been cut is going back to the other person. So that way you can start to set the intention to give back any energy or fragments or feeling or power or any types of feelings or emotions, you're sending those back to the person that you are separating or severing that cord from. I want you to start to alleviate those fragments. I want you to really set the intention that you're assuming responsibility for anything that you may have done, either knowingly or unknowingly, that made the other person responsible for in your life. I want you to think of any time you made somebody else responsible for your own happiness or for your own well-being, for your self-love, your worthiness. And I want you to send back any responsibility to them and keep any responsibility that you have. And whatever that they knowingly or unknowingly have done, giving you the same, take back anything from them. And then all those little pieces, just imagine that those little pieces are dissipating and that that connection and cord is being cut. And then imagine a golden pillar of light coming in from above, from the heavens, down through the top of your head, through your crown chakra, through your third eye, your throat chakra, your heart space, and through all of the other chakras, down through your limbs and your legs and your feet, throughout your entire body, all of the 4 bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. And feel this light just coming through your body and extending into your etheric field, around 6 feet around you into your extending aura, and completely clearing away, cleaning up, and healing any fragments that may have come back muddied or distorted, so that whatever pieces of you were calling back from cutting these cords is now being cleansed and fully restored. And just in the interest of time, we're going to take one last deep belly breath in through the nose. I want you to hold it for 4 counts. I want you to inhale all of the love and light. And I want you to exhale any negative energies or tension that may persist. And then I want you to bring your hands into prayer pose to the front of you by your heart chakra. Give thanks to your higher self, your spirit team, your guides, the creator, Archangel Michael, any other ethereal beings or entities who may have been present here today, ancestors who have guided you through this process of healing and transmutation and activation. And I want you to completely acknowledge that the process of transmutation has begun. This is a beginning. And continue to work through these energies and tools and techniques to get to a place of full healing. And I want you to acknowledge that it is done. It is done. It is done. In the Creator's name, it is done. Ashe, thank you all, and thank you to everyone who is here today, both in real life and in 3D in the spirit realm. And I really appreciate you all for sticking through, who were able to stay until the very end. And even for those who had to leave, I hope when you listen to this replay that you're able to get something from this and really start to continue, continue that process of healing and continue that process of connecting and working through any challenges or even positive things that you have going on that you just need reassurance for. So thank you so much again, Ashe, and I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to everyone who shared either in the chat or by speaking in this space, coming off mute, being on camera. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you to those of you who joined us on Zoom and on Facebook. So I will throw it back to my amazing admin, John Carl, so that we can close out.
Thank you so much, Real. Thank you, thank you. I am going to at this time bring up your special offer, and you can share a little bit more about that.
Yes. So thank you so much. As John Carl put the special offer up, I would just like to reiterate that I am offering anyone who's in this space today, or anyone who may listen on the replay, to connect with me. I'm offering a 30-minute session where we can work through some of these spiritual tools and techniques a bit more. Or any of the other tools that I've picked up along the way. Or if you have a business and you're interested in learning how you can better brand or start to market that business, I'm happy to give you a consultation there as well, whichever you feel inclined to accept. And just know that this is not an ending, but definitely a beginning. So even if it's not in one of these 30-minute intro sessions, feel free to connect with me. I am on Instagram, as I mentioned, and I'm also on Twitter. My handle is @Real is my name. And yes, my name is spelled like real. You can also email me. That is my business email there, real@realhamiltonromeo.com, or rock out and call me. And that is my number. And I do answer the phone, even for numbers that I don't recognize. I just may sound like I don't know who you are when you first call if you're not saved in my phone. Or you can text me. Like I said, I answer WhatsApp like with the quickness. Text messages, it takes me a little bit longer, but I do respond. So this is all of my details. Feel free to connect, and I would love to hear from as many of you as possible. And coming up next on Sunday, July 11th, we have Let's Keep It Real, Men Can Feel Part 2, which is facilitated by Owen Headley. So definitely sign up for that. And with that, thank you so much again. I'm going to turn it over to the admins, and I'd like to say thank you to them for their amazing help and support during this morning's session, as well as the extended admin team for all of their help and support over the last day.
Awesome. And here's Real Takeover Real. And I'd like to welcome all newcomers. The Woo Nation welcome all new members. We invite you to share in the chat, whether this is your first day, your first week, your first month, your first couple days or weeks with us. We want to welcome you. Share in the chat, whether you're new or not, and you can share that here in the Zoom space, the Zoom chat, or you can share in the Facebook chat, and our members will share their love and support and welcome you back. And please come back. We like to say, don't hit it and quit it here on Woo. We want to see you again, and we encourage your interaction and vulnerability as you witness here this morning.
John Carl, there's a missing in the slides, and that's my error, but there's no love offering slide. Can you please go through that with Real?
Okay. I have a suggestion. Can we go to the day before yesterday's slides, and in the background, just work on that before we move ahead so that we can have it. All you have to do is adjust the code in the slide, and then we can just show that one slide with that adjustment, because I don't want to risk not blessing Real because of an error that we made on the admin side. So we'll take care of that. In the meantime, because it's 8:32, we have time to make that magic happen. Let's hear from anybody who wants to share. You know, we just did the chord release piece. Like, Real has given us a lot of awesomeness in this space. So anybody want to share with her while we work on our end to adjust the error? Let me see.
Yes, I will get the Ho'oponopono link for you.
All right. Can you share what you're responding to, Real, so everybody like in Facebook land and here?
Oh, sure. So someone asked, could you put a link to the prayer in the chat that you mentioned? So I'm just gonna get the Ho'oponopono link and share that out. It is amazing. 1 second. And as I mentioned, like Ho'oponopono, you can literally use that for anything. And I mean anything, any conflict that you're having, if you feel like you need to forgive someone or someone hasn't fully forgiven you, it's definitely something that you can use for yourself and for them. And it may not feel like it's released the first time, but after working through it a few times, you will definitely start to feel that release coming through.
Yeah.
Oh.
You have a hand up. So Teresa Scott wants to share. So if you could unmute Teresa.
Hi, good morning, and thank you so much. One of the things that I got out of it was that when you were saying to connect to someone, that I guess like in a negative sense, it was kind of hard at first, to connect with them. I was like, nope, I don't want to connect with them. But then when I started to surrender, I felt a lot better. So I just want to thank you for, showing me how to, tap into that place where I needed to, just to like actually, offer a place of peace offering, for myself and for them. So thank you for that. That was really, really good. And I really appreciate this.
Very
Thank you.
welcome. Thank you. I'm glad that you got something great out of it. I just like personally, and the person who I work with who has shared this stuff with me, she's like, I want you guys to work with as many people as possible. And I just love sharing things that I've learned so that way other people can have, if not the same benefits, then different benefits for themselves. We're all on this journey. There's no reason to hog these tools that we're using. So I'm happy to share. So I'm glad that it's so encouraging to see so many of you who are sharing in the chat what you've gotten out of it, how you're feeling and things like that. Definitely continue to share that. Even if you want to hit me up afterwards and let me know, that is great as well. It's really important for us, especially during this time as we all are like ascending and moving forward, that we just start to release, because the more we hold on to these things, the harder it is for us to kind of get to that next level and evolve as much as we can. Anybody else want to share anything?
Yes, I do. Thank you so much for showing up and freely giving us what you have. I've been blessed this morning. Also, I want to share about, I was having identification with when you're sharing about your sister.
Mm-hmm.
So I shared early in the week, my baby sister, who I used to change her Pampers, she cussed me out, right? Because she's older now. So she cussed me out. And I was so intrigued with myself with how still I was being when she was speaking to me in a way that I couldn't appreciate. And you shared it earlier. It's like, okay, so you're offending me, instead of returning the energy she was giving.
Mm-hmm.
I was so impressed with myself, and it's a good thing because that's connected to the prayer as well. So what I'm coming to find out from these days of being with you guys in the morning is that for me, I decided that being me works, right? So if I don't have a relationship with my sister, which I do want to have, however, what I want more than that is to be my genuine, divine, higher self. And to be that, like you said, sometimes you're not going to be in communion with other people that you think you should be in communion with, because I was raised to, love my siblings.
Same.
Right. So, however, I've come to be grown up, 60 years old now, and decide for myself what is important. And what's more important is to be in touch with my feelings and to have more experiences when someone is coming to me in a particular way, but still stay the way I choose to stay, which is in a loving, compassionate, and understanding manner. So I want to share that with the community. I'm feeling really good about myself today.
That is awesome. I love to hear that. And honestly, I'll just leave you with this. The same sister, I have two sisters, the same sister that I'm talking about, I blocked her for a year. Like, she couldn't call me, she couldn't reach out to me on social media. And it was just because one day it was like days, and because again, being understanding and empathic, I know I could feel what she's feeling. And I was just being understanding. And then it was like the empath in me was like, all right, how much more understanding can I be? And I just blocked her. And for a year, we didn't talk. And we've been back talking now. Maybe her daughter is going to be 4. So for about 4 years. So it's okay. It feels weird at first, but sometimes you really, self-care is really about taking care of yourself. So I totally hear that. Oh, thank you. It's been so real. Yes, it has. And I appreciate you all so much. Like I said, thank you so much for hanging out in this space. It has been a pleasure being here with you all today.
We have one more share, and I'm going to ask Mama Amal if we can make it a short share so that we
short share.
All right, awesome.
The only thing that in the whole process, please remember that everything that's in front of you is for you to do self-healing. So even though you put a barrier up, that whatever that energy was that you gave forth that had her show up that way is for you to deal with. So I don't want you to be remiss with that. So don't, not just block and then forget about it. No, you need to do some self-healing that had her stand in front of you doing what she was doing or he is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm complete.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was for me. Thank you. All right. So John Carl, we ready with the love offering slide?
Ready. And here, Real, is your slide for love offerings. This is where you share this slide and our community can reciprocate the energy that you share with us this morning. And as we say, energy is money. My own natural energy yields. And you can take over and read the slide, Real.
Yes, so it says here you can send love offerings and donations via Zelle and QuickPay to soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com or Cash App with the hashtag Spirit of a Woman or cash.me $Spirit of a Woman and use code hashtag 365RHR. And I'd just like to say, when I saw the slide today, I was like, "Ooh, it's day 365. So happy 1-year anniversary, Wake Up Everybody community." I think that is so dope that on this revolution around the sun that I was able to be here with you today. So thank you so much for welcoming me. And I really enjoyed my time here and I hope that you all did as well. And again, as a reminder, you can join us on Sunday, July 11th. That's this Sunday, where Owen Hadley is going to be doing part 2 of his series, Let's Keep It Real, Men Can Feel. That's dope.
And again, I'm welcoming newcomers, sharing the chat, whether you're on Zoom or Facebook, and our community will welcome you. Thank you so much for joining, and we look forward to seeing you in our following presentations and workshops. Our schedule here for our Zoom live workshops are Sunday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. Those are 90-minute sessions from 7 a.m. to 8:30. And on Mondays and Wednesdays, our 30-minute sessions from 7 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. And we're always streaming live on Facebook. You can get your Woo alerts so you don't miss a session. And you can do that by texting Woo Nation, WUE Nation, to 74121, and we will respond with those alerts. Our Woo swag. Order your Woo swag today. You can do that by shopping at bit.ly/Woo swag. We are currently actively working on new product, stuff that I know that you're going to absolutely love. We're bringing notebooks, water bottles, in addition to, and other product, developing new product constantly. In addition to the mugs, masks, t-shirts, and sweatshirts that you've seen in the store, we've got some new exciting product coming, family. So we look forward to having you shop with us. And thank you so much. Stay in touch. You can register at bit.ly Wake Up Movement. You can find us on Facebook, bit.ly/Woo Community, and on Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual, and on YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And these links will take you directly to the page. You can also email us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And today, being Thursday, we invite all members who are interested in volunteering with our team, our Wake Up team here. We have areas of support in so many areas, so many departments, from the onboarding slide to sending out those alerts and information in the morning, support here in the Zoom session. And today we invite you to contact us at info.wakeupseries@gmail.com, and one of our team members will reach out to you with further information. So please contact us, and we look forward to seeing you and having you join our team. At this moment, we would like to take everyone to gallery view and participate in a love shower for real this morning. Thank you so much, family. We invite you to come off mute and share your love.
Thank you, Riel. That was
Thank you
very
so
powerful.
much.
Thank you
sister.
so
I
much,
really
Riel.
appreciate
That
it.
was
Thank you.
amazing. I
Wow.
love that
Thank you, Riel.
conversation. That was
I want to
Thank you
say
so
thank
much.
you,
That
everybody,
was
for
very
your
eye-opening.
input and
I love
your
that all the
opinions.
actions on this session, and I appreciate all
all
the
the outreach work. I really appreciate it.
Love you,
Through you,
sister.
Bless you
Uh,
good, everybody.
Real,
Everything.
Real, and
So helpful.
you know,
Thanks a lot.
May I
your
love
presence here
everyone.
today.
Emojis that I received on the
Thank you
board.
for
Blessings. That was
continuing
so
to
much.
support us coming
Add to everyone.
to family.
You're the best.
Without y'all, I would be
Blessings,
nothing.
God.
Day, everyone.
Thank you for being so vulnerable.
And let's be great, everybody, and let's move
Now you
forward.
show up for us on a daily basis.
Appreciate you.
Nara, want to
Thank you so
appreciate your help,
much.
Leo.
Love y'all. Love
Thank you,
y'all.
Shawty, for
Appreciate y'all.
letting me
Love
share my
y'all.
wonderful
Appreciate you.
story. Without y'all,
Y'all rock.
I'm
Y'all rock.
nothing.
Y'all rock.
You're in the space. We're
Love
all
y'all.
Jesus
I
here.
appreciate the love,
Y'all
John
is the
Carl.
bomb.
Hey, John Carl.
Appreciate you, Teresa.
Hi, twin.
Thank you, Mama Teresa. Thank you,
Have a great
Jacqueline.
day, guys.
Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, everyone that, showered their love